as well get more out of the first one. So there you go, Yasuo players out there. 2 more tips for you guys. He's just so fun. Doesn't even involve him in the game. We still want to talk about him. Here we are into the Rift, though. vVv White down 0-1 in this best-of-3 quarterfinals. They were on the blue side. They're trying to get themselves back in. New team comp for them. New top laner, new jungler. New everything. Well, new everything but jungle, I should say, actually. Vi is still here. Up in the top right, we have Cognitive Gaming in red. Still the AP Lulu. The rest of the team new as well.
All right, so this game, we got some early action here. vVv White is grouped up, looking for the early invade, and Chris has cleavers ready to roll.
He's going to land that Flame Chompers learned at level 1, and they're not going to tag... the tag snuggled. Flash Pulverize. Uh-oh. Nothing here. Lower on health has to flash. Okay, trade of summoners.
Alistar flash for Jinx flash. We already talked about how Jinx is going to have Lantern. But, you know, might have to wait till level 3 or something for that. I wonder if that will alter Zan King's skill order here, knowing that his AD carry is going to be flashless early.
Yeah. Vi will be level 3 and done with her buffs before Zane King hits level 3 himself. So yeah, you're right. You might go for an early Lantern. Other thing to note is almost every support goes at least 9 in utility. And so Batosai's flash will be up before Nothing Here's will by about 10%.
You know, if he gets that mastery. There's other really good masteries low in the utility tree.
Yeah.
I'm actually a big fan of that HP regen for however much max mana you have. Because point for point, it starts out just every champion, if you're a mana user. It's almost as good as a regular point in the defense tree regeneration.
Yeah.
And pretty much everybody by level 3 will have enough mana that it's equal to one of those. And then from that point on in the game, it's better.
Yeah.
So I like that one a lot.
So just worth it overall. Yeah, actually, speaking of fun masteries, the offense mastery, the tier 2 one, where you get health and mana for minions you kill. If you have pretty much perfect CS, it's worth 2 HP 5 and 1 MP 5. So it requires you 2 points to get to it, but similar situation here, where for 2 points, it's equal and slightly better than 2 points in the defense tree.
And not a lot of people take that one. It's pretty undervalued. Not a lot of people really like taking that. So.
Yeah, Doublelift does. I looked at his mastery page in his last game of the day, and he actually sacrifices 1 point in % bonus AD on Vayne for that.
That's interesting because Doublelift goes with the AD heavy build too.
Yeah,
so there's about to be action. Now let's talk about this early gank from Pantheon after 1 buff.
Ooh, that Q did not quite land. That would have been a forced flash from Microlatios, but doesn't get it. So now Pantheon going to the other side of the map to get his own blue buff.
Now usually I'd say burn your jungle flash for the mid laner flash, but Pantheon is such a potent early ganker that I even like saving his flash because you can get a kill even if the laner flashes when you go in with Pantheon. He has such great burst, and the early CC from him is devastating.
Okay, well, the Admiral Ziploc going to be safe to get his own blue buff here, level 3. Pretty happy with this run. Actually managed to, I think, leech experience in the mid lane as he went over, which is why he hit 3 off that buff. He normally wouldn't.
Sneaky. Very sneaky move.
Now, will Zemfira lose because of level 6 coming first there for Kayle? Unlikely, but you never know.
Yeah, it's not like an offensive ability that Kale's going to go super aggro when he hits level 6.
Ah, that's 0 damage.
Blast you now. In the bottom lane, we already talked about how they might play more safe since Jink has no flash, but really the only thing they have to worry about are jungle ganks since Alistar used his flash. He has to actually use the whole combo if he wants to gain distance on Jinx. So Alistar flash being down means that they're not as worried. But, you know, as we talked about jungler influence, he is hovering around bottom.
He's looking for it. Not going to find much, though. Looks like the lane not pushed enough, so Vi's going to turn back around. Mid laner still trading.
Pantheon looking to get a flash out of Kayle this time.
Well, he doesn't know that the Admiral's there. He's going to get the W. Good flash from Microlatios. Still some damage coming across. Half HP on Kayle. Here comes Get Snuggled. Looking to snuggle with Zemfira. Gets the slow. Good flash by Zemfira. These guys both trading splashes now. Admiral Ziploc does have stun. Lands on a Microlation. They're going in for this one. Another half HP there. Force to run away. Look at the health bar. Only 300. Gets Snuggled, putting some pain down, and doesn't chase.
Yeah, without that slow from Kayle, they would not have been able to land the Vault Breaker, and that enabled them to get a good trade down. But Pantheon returned for a bit more. Now that opens him up to jungle invades because he went with that aggressive move. Get Snuggled is aware that he's going to be low in the jungle still. Does a good job moving towards the wolves. But he leashes wolves all the way around. So he thought that the camp had already been cleared. Sneaky move from Pantheon, but it opens up Vi with control of the map, knowing that he's low HP.
If they pinged him out, they know that he was going back down. They're like, guys, Vi's looking for the bottom side, and you saw how far back Nothing here and Zane King played. To not get caught out, Vi walks back through a ward, goes towards the mid lane, like, okay, we can play aggressively again.
Yeah,
so these guys...
That Trinket ward, they're actually saving their Trinket wards. Jinx is waiting for the cooldown, or for the ward to expire from Zane King to use his, so that they can get more coverage out of it. Since those wimpy Trinket wards only lasted a minute.
Poor wimpy Trinket ward's gonna time out soon. Look back in the mid lane, get snuggled, gonna hold the mid lane for now as we wait for Microlacious to get himself back in this lane. Pretty good minion killing by Snuggle. 29 minions to the only 16 of Admiral Ziploc, so I gotta imagine a gold lead there for Vi, which might just matter a hell of a lot. Because he's been counter-ganking pretty appropriately. They've both traded their mid laners' flashes.
A level up on Pantheon right now. He's feeling pretty good about the situation because he has been able to leech some good experience. But once they do hit level 6, Pantheon gets the surprise factor where he can gank from outside of ward vision, which could be more of a factor than the guaranteed lock-in from Vi.
True. Level 4 to level 5. Looks like it's going to be a little while till Ziploc gets the man drop, though, to get himself in there a bit more. Gets snuggled. Looking for the white camp, just kind of farming right now. Snuggle kind of ignoring his team, 32 to 20 in minions, really kind of growing that lead, and I think that might just be important, having the assault and battery in time. Zamfir looking still for aggression. You're seeing this come through. Doesn't land the Q, though.
I like how, getting the vision there from Lulu Harass, you get to see a little bit more around if there was any lane ganks coming in from Vi. But Vi has been able to circle around behind him.
Now Zamfira is level 6. Can he pop the ulti and survive? Snuggled under turret. Late ulti from Zamfira. Tries to bait it out. Now the fight onto Microlacious, who can't chase down. Admiral Ziploc is here. Does not have flash. He tried to get in range and didn't get it.
And down bottom, we got aggressive Alistar here, going straight at Jinx.
Yeah, no spells left on him, though. Nothing here. And Co still putting the damage across. 5-5 versus 4-5, though. Sinking a bit behind in experience, but looks like these guys are okay from Cognitive.
Alistar does have his flash nowadays, though. So if they get the Vi down here after level 6, it could be really dangerous because that's a long time of guaranteed CC with a flash Alistar and then the Vi combo coming in on top of it. They could very well take out, either the support or the AD carry. In those lanes where you have Thresh, it's always an interesting choice which one you go for, always depending on the positioning of how far Thresh is back.
That's true. See what they go for, who gets caught out, what happens to these guys. Red buff respawning, get snuggled, 8 minutes in. Actually gets beat to level 6. Admiral Ziploc finding ways to gain experience there. Hasn't used man drop yet, but does have his red buff in his inventory. See where this goes. Blue buff now respawning as well for Cognitive. We'll see if they can get this one on the right target. And already the pings come out. Looks like a gank potentially going to be looked for here. vVv White slow on his Zamfira. Assault batteries up. Pops it there. Lulu low on health. No ulti, no flash. Likely to be going down. Picks it up. First blood, Microlacious.
All right, so the classic Vi ulti in mid. Early gank right there. It means that Pantheon will get to soak up some lane experience, but it does. If he does stay there, then they'll know he's not going to contest this dragon. Very interesting down bottom because Chris's teleport is not up, so he won't be able to join them, and it would be a 3 versus 4.
See if he goes for the man drop on this one. He is nearby. Put some wards down. Nope. Easy dragon picked up there for Get Snuggle, converting the mid lane kill into a dragon. That's going to put these guys 800 gold in the lead.
Very well played right there. Objective pretty much unanswered there, so really, really high impact kill that they were able to get with that visitation middle.
And the bot lane hasn't even recalled yet for items. They're just going to do it now here for Cognitive. Whole bunch of money on Jinx, 72 minions. Got to be a BF sword. Yep, there it is. Boots one as well. Sightstone there for Thresh, and a switch over to the red trinket now for Zine King. So the beginnings of mid-game control starting here for Cognitive. I imagine similar things now for vVv White as they've pushed out the bottom lane and recalled as well.
Yep, as you say it. Support again, switching out to the old sweeper and picking up Sightstone. So Vision battle are pretty much even right now. Both supports going for the exact same path, but one extra pink ward on the side of Cognitive.
And it's a Vamp Scepter in place of Boots because of the Dragon Gold there for Frostalicious, so even more sustained. Even has the cow on his team though, so he's got sustained anyway in the lane. Still goes for the extra AD from Vamp Scepter. We'll see if that pays out for him well. Alistair chilling down here. Not going to do too much for him. Nice CC combo on nothing here. I don't feel like they can get the kill off this one. Lantern doesn't go anywhere for Zane King.
Just showing him who's boss right here. Pantheon comes in from behind though. He doesn't even have to get this close, but since they know there are wards, there are no wards in the first bush, they want to try and save his ulti as long as possible.
Backs up for now. Hasn't gone for the ulti just yet. Chris waiting in the top lane.
They're prepping for it.
There. Richie Rich half HP. Fever goes in. Ulti comes off as well. It's going to be a lot of pain. Knocked around. Does Dragon Form out. Looks like Snuggle queued too early and didn't stop the Dragon's descent.
Oh, that was a hilarious flight from Richie Rich. Got knocked off kilter there by Get Snuggled, but still was able to make it out.
Pretty safe. Mid lane, Harass coming in there. 4 points in Q, 2 in E. Zamfir going to be offensive skills first. Not surprised to see that, but keeping you guys up to date on the build. And again, looks like he's looking for a haunting guys early on that Lulu. And to be fair, despite the death, is winning in minions in this lane. Might beat Microlation to the first big item, who is of course going for a Natur's Tooth. Yeah, I mean the confidence there with the lock-in. I thought he was going to have a pretty good handle on that lane, and even with that death, you're right. So much visitation there. They're going for a dive on Kale. Ultimate is up. Flash Whimsy comes in too late. Microlation flashes away in time. Doesn't take the damage. That could have been a lockdown though. 1.5 for Whimsy, 1.5 for the jump stun.
Yeah, the Kale definitely very susceptible to CC locking because she doesn't have a large health pool. If you CC her from 100% to 0, you know, no ulti is going to come out. And it is actually a quality dive that you can go for with Pantheon.
Wow, ulti burned again there. Microlation's Ignite is ticking. Not going to be quite enough damage to kill him off though, but pretty much 1-2 ticks
Another
away.
visit top there from Vi. This time no Dragon's Descent available.
Not just yet, about 20 Fury away. Getting hit right now. Flash Cleaver lands there. Richie Rich trying to get the Fury. Can he get it in time? One more hit to go. Nope. Chris going to take him down. 2 kills to 0 now in this game.
Now, you want to hold your flash in that situation till the Vault Breaker comes out. Once he uses his Vault Breaker and you see the direction, then you flash it. But since he did it early, able to land that Vault Breaker and paid for it with his life.
Unfortunate there for Richie Rich. Looking at the bottom lane, Pantheon walking through a ward, not going to get found out. No CC chain here, and unfortunately for Cognitive, their Pantheon jungle switch has done nothing for them.
Yeah, I didn't even see. Oh, the last man drop was mid.
Yeah. Where
it was just a flash out from Kale. So exactly, he hasn't had the biggest of impacts, but this time he went straight into Kale and gets a couple spears in.
Flash pulverized, knocked back on a Zion King, puts the box down but has nowhere to go. 3-man play, trying to run, just gets ulted. There's the Assault and Battery, gets snuggled 3 for 3 on his ulti ganks now.
He's feeling pretty confident with that. Pretty much on cooldown. Go for ganks with Vi to make best use of Assault and Battery. A good setup too. We were talking about how the Alistar plus Vi combo would be plenty of CC to take someone out, and they did make use of it. Plus burning the box, so cooldowns are going to be even for ultimates as well.
Good stuff here. Mid lane swept away. The only lane that's really winning, I gotta say now, is just Zamfira in mid. 29 minions. Richie Rich getting some ward coverage over the blue buff. Maybe they make a play for this one. Dragon's up in a minute 10. But the bottom lane really just not controlled by Cognitive. vVv White can probably snowball more gold off trying to win that lane.
Yeah, I mean, since Shyvana's ahead in CS, it's only a few CS, so that's not really a big win. I mean, they were able to get the gank on her as well. So I think this is really the point where Chris kind of takes control, because Mundo's hit that point, you know, one more level and he'll have level 2 ulti. He can just become that immovable object.
Well, 230 health left on Richie Rich, not doing a good job of these trades anymore. Has to save the ulti for escapes if Vi shows up. Otherwise, just falling down behind Chris here. This switch in top lane picks working for vVv White. The repeat choice for the jungler actually working this time around. I gotta say, a much better game for these guys. They did not look this good in game 1.
Yeah, it's interesting to see where Shyvana has gone here. She has not rushed Blade of the Ruined King, so she doesn't have the % health damage from Mundo because she's gone for the early defensive Negatron Cloak to try and mitigate the damage and hasn't been able to complete either item here. So Chris doing a good job starting to bully him around.
Let's see where they go. Dragon is up. Zamfir
So
wants
teleport.
to contest. Uh-oh, you're right. Could be a 5v4. Ziploc is here. Wards being covered, but
There's the
Tosai not
teleport.
finding the jump on in. Chris right there in melee range. Not good for Zamfira. Trying to get out half HP. The jump back in, but Tosai getting locked up, but Zamfira goes down. 1-0. The fight still engaged. Flash comes out from nothing here. Zane King not in a good spot. Flashed away from this one as well. Ziploc now in a really bad spot. Takes a lantern. Nice escape, but that's 3 flashes burned and a kill. Bottom lane turret's going to vVv. Maybe not.
Whoa, it's pretty spread out here. Good hook.
This is risky, though. It's going to be a pretty rough spot, but in comes the man drop. 1 kill picked up onto Thresh. The jump on in. Damage onto Frost Delicious, but survives with barrier. Kills off on a kill, but Tosai goes down. Nothing here. On the chase, picks up 2 kills. This is a battle in front of us. Frost Delicious trying to make the way out. Zap does not land, but 3 kills got picked up there for Cognitive. They turned that one around.
Able to get some kills onto nothing here, which is the hard carry that they need, but they are so far behind in the global gold right now. They're going to do a lot more work to get back in this one. Doing his best to clear out the wave.
Not a lot of health bars left, though, from the vVv crew. They have to be careful at the bottom lane. Did have to burn the ulti, but I guess this does put control here for Cognitive.
So it was the teleport initiate, but Tosai, early pulverize. I saw that, man. That was at the bottom of the screen, but he used it super early, and the cooldown is so long on it, means Alistar does not lock up either of these 2 champions that would have been kills right there. Ah, that's unfortunate. I didn't catch that the first time around. Meanwhile, they are, what is this?
They
We're seeing the picture-in-picture. It's just Lulu and Pantheon walking.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're just heading mid. Yeah, meanwhile, the man drop did happen. And here comes the Jinx for the cleanup here. Let's see. Could he have focused Get Snuggled? The flash might have gotten him away. If he had used the zap on Get Snuggled after the flash, then maybe but might have been able to lock in that double buff and get excited to maybe catch up to Lucian. But he really was banking on hitting that zap over the wall after Lucian's flash.
Yeah. So tries for both, doesn't quite get either. Good attempt. Go back to it. Dragon, I believe, was picked up there. Cognitive Gaming only down 3,000 after losing the bottom turret. I gotta say, Dragon must have went to them. I believe it was Zamfira and Nothing Here who took that one out.
That's why we're showing them walking back to mid lane.
Yeah.
They had just finished off the Dragon to grab some global gold back in their favor. But they've lost out on Vision Wars in their own jungle here. And vVv White setting up some weird ganks.
They're on a pink ward. Ooh, good zap. All right, Nothing Here is like, hey, there is something here. You guys back off. Nothing picked up for you. Lizard Elder is done for Ziploc. He is behind, though, I gotta say. Double Longsword versus a Ninja Tabby with Home Guards and a Doran's Blade there. Gets snuggled. Having a better game so far. We'll see if Pantheon can keep turning it on. He's had, like, kind of talking about Pantheon. I know we sort of assume he has a bad late game, but I feel like he's been doing, in general, pretty well in scaling to games throughout the LCS pretty well.
His problem, though, is going to be that he's mostly single target, and he has to commit fully to that target. So when Kale ultis whatever target Pantheon jumps on, he's going to be in trouble.
Oh,
just like he is
flash,
now.
pulverize on the 2. This is not a good thing for Cognitive, but actually, they get the support from Sign King, and nothing happens to him. Good rotation, way too aggressive there by Batosai.
Kale still has the ulti, though, so the threat of a dive at this turret is very real. And Jinx not being there, as soon as Jinx shows bottom, vVv White could easily call for a dive and make use of the intervention to tank the turret.
Well, no minions left in this wave, though. It's going to give some more free time here. There's Nothing Here on the bottom side. He's going to stay with that bottom lane push, but then rotate back as people come in to rotate. This turret lower on health. Looks like it's not likely to drop. If it was going to die, Nothing Here would have stayed for it. So just a couple of minion kills going there. 3,000 gold still the switch. Red buff smited away by Admiral Ziploc. He's keeping that one for himself. And he's catching up in minions, but still very far behind in kills.
That is something that we always mention with support Lulu, but we didn't mention with AP Lulu is the wave clear.
Yeah, you're right.
So true in both situations. Glitterlant's a very effective tool at stopping those early sieges.
Tosai getting Glitterlanced. One hit. Gets it in time. Hooked up. They might do some good damage here. Plays towards the wall. Pulverize doesn't land on anything. He's just kind of angry the hook landed.
He's letting out rage.
Yeah.
Just pounding the ground all over the place here. Doesn't care if there's people going by.
I think he might have expected Q2 to jump in, and he could have interrupted the move block and pulverize. So he's like, in case he jumps at me, I think I can stop him. That's my guess. Mind games. Didn't do anything. It was kind of a safe move.
So Cognitive at this point, being on the back foot this time around, without getting the early lead, they're really trying to feed as much as they can into Jinx for that late game. They're sort of putting all their money on him because I feel like Kale, I haven't had a lot of experience with AP Lulu, but I feel like AP Kale is going to scale much harder than AP Lulu.
Gonna be scary.
Just because he builds another AP ratio onto the kit by going Lichbane. And once you get that, it's really hard to outscale him.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. It's pretty crazy overall. And random pro tip for people playing Kale, save your heal till your Lichbane comes off cooldown, and you'll get another Lichbane proc during your first Righteous Fury. Just FYI, keep an eye on your cooldowns and the item in the bottom corner. When it comes up, self-cast a heal, or on someone else. Get another Lichbane proc.
Another tip, definitely get both Spell Weaving and Blade Weaving in the offense tree.
Yeah. Because
you stack them both up at the same time with that Righteous Fury. So a lot of really quick damage.
Yep. Will overall increase your damage 3% for 2 points, which is incredibly efficient for that tree. Here we go.
Shyvana's getting shoved out the secondary turrets now. So Chris is really doing a good job up there. The Mundo timer has definitely run out for Richie Rich up top. Chris now just shoves in the wave and then also clears out some extra money from the jungle. He's not one to dive a Shyvana or go for anything there, but he's definitely one to be an annoyance and take over more control of the map.
See if you can get it here. Snuggled holds the mid lane for this one. See who can take over the map in the end. 3,000 gold. Snuggled just wave clearing still. They're not finding much in the Zamfira. They're not baiting him into too much. Alistair waiting in the wings. Ziploc goes for it, lands a stun onto a minion. Doesn't do anything with it.
Well, they killed the minion.
Yeah, it died.
Got that sucker dead. Now, I don't know, a lot of the success that Jungle Pantheon had where, Dominate really brought this champion to light and got a lot of bans even focused on them when people play against Curse is because of the initiations that he makes with it in the mid game and in the early game. Very bold usage of the man drop, as it's called, and we really haven't seen that from Admiral Ziploc nowadays. He's been a little bit more hesitant. There was that one turret dive, but other than that, not really reaching too far with those. Mundo teleports in, another repeat situation.
Okay, 5 versus 5 in the battle. Ziploc just going down right away. No, jumps away with the Lulu, but still alive, but getting chased down. 1 for 0 so far, but Tosai gets snuggled low on health. 1 for 1 in this battle. Jump now back towards Chris. He gets pulled back in and goes down. 2 for 1 for Cog. It's not going to be a zap that lands. Now the 3 members of vVv White running away. Can the Glitter Lance hit? Does not hit anybody there. The escape might come through. Zap flashed away. Cog forces him out though in a 2 for 1 fight. Control over Dragon.
Yeah, exactly. This time around, they are able to chase him back off, grabbing up the answer Dragon here. Not only does it give more gold now that it's later in the game, but also helps catching up that experience gap, giving bonus to the low members. So a really good comeback tool in Dragon. Definitely always encourage your team in the mid game not to lose hope, even if you had a really bad early game, because that's a great comeback tool right there. Just one Dragon. Wow.
The jump back in, nothing here, well down on health. Half HP, gets snuggled, still chasing through, hits a flame chomper though, zapped in the face as well, still wants to chase, not anymore.
That is going to be no more Assault and Battery. However, it does give them control over the mid lane. Since they got so much damage down onto nothing here, they have to back off.
All right, that is a turret killed off, and of course in the bottom lane, Zamfira was still pushing, put decent damage in that turret. See if he can make that one actually die for now. Minion swept away again. The hook now on to kill. Will they go for this one? Pops the ulti. Wise choice right here. Mundo popping his ultimate as well. This mid lane just getting forced down right now. Hook onto Snuggle. Damage coming towards him. That's going to be the turret falling. Zamfira just recalls back. 2 turrets picked up for that one. Good job, vVv White.
Yeah, 2 for 1. Zamfira was trying to answer down, get that outer turret bottom. And there was a lot of CC that Cognitive landed under the turret. They were trying their darndest to keep vVv White there as long as possible. But vVv White finished the job just in time and are able to back off. So a pretty good answer for them.
Well played by these guys. Oh my gosh, are you serious? They're starting Baron right there. Chris is going to see that he knows about this. Cog gonna have to back off. They're gonna see that Chris sees him and says, okay, we should get away from this one. No CC likely to land here. None that matters anyway.
Yeah, Pantheon getting right in the face of these objectives that they're forcing means he's getting chunked down to half HP before all these fights happen. And he has not built any defensive items, so that's a really, really bad situation.
Wow, heavy damage on the Crystal, half HP, CC ignited, the damage not going to come quite through. Lulu ulti going to come in, keeping Richie Rich alive, but Tosai in the front line, Ziploc, another shield, here comes the culling, putting decent damage down,
Whoa.
but nothing here, overstays, trades his life for a support, not sure if worth. Oh, Zamfira gets left alone. The Lantern picked up by scumbag Ziploc. Cognitive running away now.
Really deep by nothing here. He committed very hard to that Alistar kill.
Yeah.
So first of all, Cognitive poured all this damage into Mundo, getting him down to basically 100 HP when, predictably, the Kale ultimate comes out and saves him. So pretty much all that time was wasted putting all that damage into him because he just heals all the way back up. And then they spend the next 5 seconds or so pouring damage into Alistar that has popped his ultimate. So it's another few seconds there of pouring damage into a target that's going to reduce it or regenerate it right back up. And even though they had the numbers advantage that whole time, the target choices for both of those tanks ended up hurting them. And also kind of baited nothing here into committing very hard for that kill.
Yeah, so maybe some missteps there for Cognitive Gaming, but of course a good turnaround by vVv White, noting the cooldowns were gone and they could come back into that battle. So a 2-for-1 battle, keeping the blue side in the lead here. I gotta say, 4,000 gold, putting vVv White at the chance to pull it to a Game 3. But looking for some control around Baron right now. I'm not sure Snuggle's gonna find anything here. Nothing here, not gonna go near him. Finds nothing here, but not.
You know, they do have good ward coverage though. Double pink wards around the Baron. It's doing pretty good work for them. They definitely want to press the lead that they have. Going for a Baron fight is still a dangerous opportunity because Pantheon dropping on top of your head inside the pit is a very dangerous thing, considering as soon as he drops in, Lulu can then ult him and knock everybody up. Pretty good combo.
Let's see where they go. So the build we've been seeing for Pantheons in general, at least especially in Europe, is Lizard Elder Brutalizer into Warmogs. Seems to be the build here for Ziploc as well. Gets the tank stats, transitions into more of a frontliner. Slightly less of an assassin, more of an initiator. Chris, standard build, Sunfire, Spirit Visage, pretty much the default for Mundo, going Randuin's next. Randuin's also coming in for a Snuggled.
I do like Warmogs as your defensive item if you're a melee and you're only getting one defensive item against a mixed damage team. Other than that, I would pretty much always prioritize going Randuins for the AD teams and Banshees for the Magic teams.
And of course you see Cognitive, actually I gotta say they're pretty split, because Shyvana is pretty high magic damage, and Lulu actually, to be fair, though I wouldn't have expected it coming in, is pretty high magic damage as well, starting on a death cap now. So for what it's worth, like Mundo going now towards a Randuin's like not crazy high MR, and Vi really not very high magic resist either.
But you know, Randuin slowing down attack speed does help against Lulu a little bit.
Yeah, we'll do a bit there, you're right. The Morellonomicon as well that Zamfira picked up, though it was normal for the last game too, is going to help them against the Mundo who gets down to half. They don't need to ignite to get him to stop the regen, or to half the regen.
Yeah, that's a nice little bonus there.
Did you know Morellonomicon procs off the mastery that gives you 5% of your AP as bonus damage? It procs off your auto attacks if you have the mastery.
Ah, the Spellblade?
Yeah. Any source of magic damage, doesn't have to be an actual spell cast. So if you wanted to get like Spellblade on Ezreal, you could get like a Morellonomicon, and like your Mystic Shots would do it.
Well, AP Ezreal was a thing. Really has fallen off the map because the ratio's toned down a bit.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him much lately, but you could bring him back with that.
Or Wit's End. Leona's passive would do it too. If you got picks, it would do it.
So what you're saying is we need more. Oh, fights in the
engagement
middle.
from Batosai. Let's see what they can do. Zion King drop very low, pops the box and the Ascension. 1-for-0 so far. vVv White on the chase now. What more can they grab? A beautiful Vial finds nothing here, and he's going to try to survive. Won't, though. And in comes Pantheon. a jump onto Get Snuggled. He will fall, but there comes a fight back onto Admiral Ziploc. He will fall as well, and Chris is chasing Richie Rich. One hit from dead. He's gonna go down. Only Zamfira left alive and is surrounded. This is gonna be a 4-for-1 fight. vVv White coming up huge right here.
Chris with a double kill, just handing out those pink slips left and right, retiring both Richie Rich and Zamfira.
Taking him out, man, and here we go. On to the inhibitor. These guys go. Lichbane, of course, already done. Death Cap started for Microlation, so this is going to be an inhibitor turret. The inhibitor itself as well. Zion King already back alive and just can only watch in the darkness with tears in his eyes as the bottom inhibitor goes down.
You know, the matchup between both these teams, whichever team got the first pick has really had a strong showing here.
Yeah.
Pretty much the lead the whole game. You know, the whole game, in game number 1, all COG. And then this time around, vVv White have not let up.
And to me, a lot of it came from the junglers. I think in game 1, Admiral Ziploc just made everything happen. And here in game 2, Get Snuggled completely dominated every lane he went to. And I gotta say, like, this is a battle of the junglers making things happen, making themselves heard, and killing people.
He had a really good set of Vi ultimates. The first, like, 3 assault and batteries that he got off this time were all extremely effective.
Got his lanes going. Now Chris 5-2-7 on Mundo got set ahead. He's doing great. Frostalicious 6-0-6 on Lucian got ahead from a gank and is doing wonderfully. Microlation, I mean, 1-1-9. He's at least sitting around in the fight. He's not carrying, but he's certainly keeping his team alive. The Kayle ultis have been massive.
And, you know, with the Lichbane, he's probably going Death Cap next. That's going to be a huge power spike. Yeah. So he'll start melting the front line. Even Shyvana is going to have to worry because only a Negatron cloak, you're still going to get taken down pretty easily. The sustained damage of Kayle is underestimated a lot of times because people are worried about the Q auto attack Lichbane burst. But she actually is a very strong sustained damage mage as well if you don't target her after she uses her ult.
We'll see what they go for in this one. Because you've got a 9,000 gold lead for vVv White. I want to see how they try to close this game out. And if they give an opening for Cognitive to enter themselves back on in. Chris splitting on the side. He's got teleport. Bottom lane has a dead inhibitor, and no one from Cognitive are here to defend that. It's going to put an immense pressure on the Nexus that COG, I feel like, has to answer.
Yeah, Chris over there is a ridiculous tank. He can take down that Nexus turret, even with Shyvana there, just with the help of that super minion, if he wants to. It'll take a long time, but
sure,
he can take that sucker down, because side lanes are a lot easier to take in Nexus turrets from than coming from the mid lane, since you don't have to deal with both of the turret damages at once the entire time.
Well, Chris tries to push, doesn't get a ton for it. Looks like Richie Rich going to be able to hold on to this one. Chris now going to look for the way to push Richie Rich down.
Full tank Mundo coming for you.
Fever's going to start landing, getting lower and lower. Force use Dragon's Ascent, but Chris still on the chase. Q burn, and there comes the jump in for Pantheon. This is going to be a fight. Cognitive looking for their way back into this game. Can they find anything? He's going to need a lantern to get out. Gets one, jumps away. Chris teleports in. 5 vs 4 battle has begun. Gets Snuggle jumping in as well. What's he going to find? Box comes down. Zion King low. Cullen comes across. Zamfira drops dangerously low. Chris going to get disengaged with the Flame Chompers. Cog holds on to this one. Nexus under fire, though, from minions in the base. Slow onto Chris. Re-engage onto Baron. Cognitive looking for a way back in. Lantern comes down, spots this. Hook's not going to land. Chris jumped on. Kayle's here, though. Zamfira flashing over the wall. Microlation in the middle of the enemy team gets flayed. But the jump in, Zion King goes down. The fight still going through. Richie Rich going to drop 2 for 0. Both kills going to Vi. Chris now on the front lines. He'll survive this one. Kayle ulti has already been used. Nothing here, just hitting someone who's regenning. A whole heck of a lot of health.
Chris did so much work in the last 30 seconds here. He went from shoving in Richie Rich all the way back to the fountain and making him burn Dragon to the front lines of the Baron fight.
And this is Baron now down to 1/3 HP. Admiral Ziploc is around, does have smite. vVv White wants to re-engage the fight instead. Zamfira drop low. No clear is going to land, but Chris at half HP snuggled. Looks forward, does not land the Vault Breaker.
Baron's regenning. Oh, there it goes. They tagged him, but they're just going to leave him at half-life.
Wow, so not a ton gain. Just 2 kills and a couple of summoners overall. Top lane farm did suicide into the turret. Bottom lane inhibitor is back up, though, and I believe neither Nexus turret even died here. So, in the end, Cognitive, a relatively good hold.
It was the crucial point right there. That was the tipping point, because the base was swarmed with minions. So, vVv White really had either Baron right there or inhibitors going down right there if they just stayed a little bit more. And after that long, long battle, they backed right when the tipping point for Cog's base was about to fall over, and they all just got a free back, and they were able to clear out the base.
Well, so Inhib respawns. No teleport now for Chris for another 3 minutes. And I want to see what happens here, because you've got like this pause button and a sigh of relief for Cognitive. And vVv White, though, they still, actually more now, it's more than 10,000 gold in the lead. They've actually grown a lead here. They're removing wards, and I mean, they are ward controlling pretty well overall. They're clearing out waves. They're getting ready to siege again.
Shooting bushes up left and right.
Making sure.
Make
Kill
sure
that grass dead.
make sure there's no Fnatic team in there.
Nope.
Xpeke hiding in the bush.
He's over in Europe. He's in Cologne. Oh, the side. Good damage. Locked him down to half. Okay, that's not too bad.
So vVv White definitely just going to play the safer route here. Retake the inhibitor, and then they can go back to the same strategy, or they can have Chris tank tower hits. He is a massive, massive tank at this moment. And if they want to, they can go mid after this instead of return to Baron.
Well, they're going to walk forward, and the inhibitor does fall down. Let's see where they go next. Minion wave to the top side. Flash in. It's going to be Admiral Ziploc in a horrible position, trying to run away. Does get the KO ulti onto Batosai. Zion King going to go down 1-for-0. The re-engage. Zemphira forced to run Chris at half and regenning back up. Going to be a pretty much a 1-for-0, and no counterattack is here.
Yeah, Cognitive chase out past the turret range there. They're very far from the Nexus turret and far from the mid turret. After the inhibitor's already dead, going out a little bit aggressive. Losing one member means that now they pretty much have to cede the extra objective over here. Baron probably going to get burned down pretty quick.
Batosai, Wig, watching.
Oh, they're actually going for the bait instead.
Okay. They're waiting around. Chris revealed. They see he's zoning everyone out. He's got a red buff. Ward, I believe, just went over the wall, and they see nothing has happened here. vVv White not doing anything with the kill. Slow. This is dangerous. Snuggle does have the ulti. Can he find anything here? He's going to be in range. Goes in for it, gets in the knockup. There's the culling. Lantern comes across, keeps him alive. Richie Rich forced to run away as Dragon Form does make it out. Chris down to half. Reaches with the ultimate. Takes a turret shot for fun.
Wow.
Gains health.
Nothing here. Almost burned to death right there. So close. One more tick and he would have gone down. It was also interesting that he was auto-attacking Chris for just harass while Chris was charging him, which automatically slows yourself since he's got a Randuin's on him and enabled himself to get caught.
Not worth it there. And vVv White, though, continuing to control the map, takes a max value dragon down. 260 per person. That's the highest it goes. So big dragon here in the map.
So that's 1,300 gold, and Baron's only 1,500 gold. So as far as, you know, global gold worth, that was almost as much as grabbing the Baron. The only side effect that you would really benefit from is the old purple buffs.
Yeah, you're less purple. Lulu would say it tastes purple, but it's not this time around. No pretty little flowers. Baron's still on the map and living, walking around, waiting for something to happen to him. Cognitive still stuck in their own base. Nothing here is getting the farm. They've donated that bottom lane farm to him. He's scaling up. 3.5 completed items. Infinity Edge not far away, but Frost Delicious already has his. So as far as AD carries are concerned, this Lucian is more threatening.
Yeah, Trinity Force on Lucian and Lichbane on Kayle means that, like I said, they can have Chris tank a tower hit if each of those members get off one auto attack. Just one auto attack from Lucian and one from Kayle on the turret. Then it's a huge chunk out of it. If they even get just one rotation of that off per wave, they can eventually take it down.
Let's see where they look right now. Wards are down. Not all of them get swept away. Oracle's still there for Cog. Can they get them? They're trying. Time's out. Upgraded Trinket got him extra ward kill, but not the two of them. Baron still...
Looks like they're calling for actually damaging Baron here, yeah.
Oh man, it's going to go down so fast. Blue team picks it up, completely zoned out Cognitive. vVv Gaming White now 14,000 gold in the lead. Looking to tie up this series.
So we talk about how massively Kayle scales into the late game. Yeah, she also makes great use of the Baron buff, being hybrid and being auto-attack based.
Oh, yeah.
So scaling with the AP and AD that it gives you, it's a nightmare. Oh, wow, the Void Staff on top of it all. That's the 4 items that mean Kayle can destroy whatever target she decides, even the Shyvana.
Even the Shyvana. This is just brutal. And you kind of talked about her hybrid scaling. I looked at Pobelter's Masteries during their game when he was on Kale. I think it was Pobelter. It was one of the Kale players.
Oh, he went Gragas.
Okay, it wasn't him then. It was a Kale player regardless. I know that much. And 27 offense and 3 points in utility for move speed, just to get as much damage out there as possible. Got the bonus AD and AD per level.
Just goes to show, when you're fighting a Kale, you always want to switch targets to the Kale once her ulti's down. If she doesn't ulti herself, you need to take out that target because they are so offense-oriented. They're almost always the biggest threat.
Very scary. We'll see where these guys go now. Looks like vVv White pushing in again for the bottom inhibitor. Third time this building will fall, and I don't even know if COG wants to even try to stop them. They won't. That's going to just completely die off. Now where they go next.
So they definitely want to fight with a turret. Well, I guess they don't.
They got some damage on the slug, but look at the heal. Heal just like gets them almost back to full HP off of that catch with a pretty small, like relatively smaller heal compared to other people who can heal champions. So not the best thing for COG. Another hook is going to land. I don't think Chris is going to care. He doesn't.
So Batosai is just demonstrating right here too that even he can take one of these turret hits. If they do this, what they're doing with Chris and Batosai right now, and allow Kale and Lucian to get those attacks off on the turret, it's down in 4 hits. Look at that.
Look how quickly it falls down. COG looking for the engagement. Aren't going to find it. Flame Charmers don't find a home. Minions will fall over. This turret does regen, but slowly. And I feel like this is still likely to die. There we go. It's going to be the man drop coming in. Can they get this fight the way they need it? Turret goes down. Battle has begun. Zyke going to live in the backside, but goodbye! Admiral Ziploc, 1-for-0. Zemphira chase down. He's going to fall down as well. Nothing doing from the ulti from Jinx, and the chase is on. 2-for-0. Going to make that 3 soon. No, the lane's going to pull him back. Richie Rich walks away as well, but the inhibitor has fallen, and now the Nexus under siege.
All right, so vVv White answer with a convincing win of their own, bringing the series back to 1-1, and it's getting exciting here.
20-7 the kill score, 42 minutes into the game. vVv White making it a 1-1 game. We're going to have a game 3, ladies and gentlemen. This is the quarterfinal match that determines who fights Determined Gaming.
They got 2 Nexus explosions because it was surrender, and they just finished it, so game over.